Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our 2024 open enrollment meeting. As you all did see, I did upload benefits documents are in Bamboo HR. We've got some partners here with us today who are going to be presenting. So I'd like to start by introducing Makisha Adenike. She is our partner with USI, our broker. And so she is going to kick us off and start the presentation. And if everyone can stay muted, and then we'll have time at the end for questions. And then we will go ahead and post this in my FYI after the presentation today so that you can refer to it if you need to. And then if you have any other additional questions, of course, please reach out to Anya or myself after the presentation today. So Makisha, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, thank you. Good morning, everybody. Again, my name is Makisha Adenike, and I am with USI Insurance Consulting. We have some exciting new benefits to share with you, so I want to go ahead and get started and take it away so that I won't take too much of your time. And like Nina said at the end, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute your mic at that time. We do have a few presenters with us today. Someone directly from those carriers that will be offering you new benefits, which is Voya for your FSA, HSA, and transit and commuter benefits. And then also we have someone from Sun Life that will be going over the dental and vision new benefits with you as well. We also have Kristen from Pet Benefits just to discuss that a little bit. I know that's not a new benefit for you all, but we just kind of wanted her to, come in and share some details with those benefits with you as well. All right, so I'll get started. So what is this agenda going to be about today? Just briefly, we're going to talk about open enrollment. Then we'll go into the benefit plan overview and then discuss the enrollment process. So the benefit open enrollment period, excuse me, is from today, and it will end on March the 8th, which is next Friday. So you have from now until then to make your election changes. You will have to manually elect your FSA, HSA, and/or transit and parking elections in order for them to roll over for the next year. You also have to either waive or enroll in the Sun Life dental and vision plans as well on the web portal. And again, the deadline to enroll on everything will be next Friday, March the 8th. Now, during open enrollment period, you are allowed to add or drop a dependent. You can add or drop a benefit, waive benefits, and of course, make your elections, like I just mentioned. Outside of this period of open enrollment, you will not be able to do these election changes unless you experience a qualifying life event, which would be something like a marriage or divorce, a change in employment status, or a change in dependent status, etc. So there are a list of things that could qualify you for these approved enrollment reminder events, but you can always just reach out to Nina and Anya if you have a question about whether that qualifying event is one that's not mentioned here on the list, because there are some outside of this, but these are the major qualifying events. Oh, I'm sorry, I did want to mention one thing. You do have 30 days. So you have 30 days from the initial qualifying event to make the change. So let's just say outside of open enrollment, you get married June. You have 30 days from that date that you got married to get everything over to Nina and Anya for them to, initialize you to update or make any qualifying event changes to your benefits. So who is eligible? All full-time employees working 30 or more hours per week. And then for new hires, it's the first of the month following your date of hire that you'll be eligible to make these changes to your benefits. Any legally married spouses or domestic partners are also covered as dependents on your plans. And then children up to the age of 26 are covered. They will term the end of the month following their 26th birthday. So if your child turns 26, on June the 1st, they're going to be terming on June the 30th. Yeah, June 30th. And then any dependent children would be, of course, any natural adopted children and stepchildren. If you do have a disabled dependent, they will be covered past the age of 26. It just will require additional documentation. And that is directly, it'll be from the carriers that will be requesting that. This is probably like a form or something you have to complete. And then we'll get everything over to you for you to complete that. And then the physician would have to complete something. And then we would get that over to the carriers. So how can you control your costs? The insurance companies like to push that you get a flu shot, right? That's one way that you can kind of make sure you are trying to prevent yourself from having an illness or sickness, right? Also think about using an urgent care center opposed to going to the emergency room. Utilize those carrier discounts. So I know that sometimes if you see a in-network provider, it will cost less than going to an out-of-network provider for you on the plan. Think of asking your doctor or physician to prescribe you to a generic prescription opposed to a brand name. Sometimes they can be a little less expensive. And then also getting those annual medical and dental checkups are important as well. And new to your plan this year, Sun Life, I'm sure Lisa will mention it during her session, that there's an extra perk for getting your preventive dental checkup as well this year. And then also thinking about pre-tax dollars, right? So invest in, if you can, in an FSA or an HSA plan to help you pay for some of those medical and or dental and vision costs. So let's go right into the medical. There are no major changes to your plans. There's only one minor change, and of course that's going to be on the option 1 plan. So it looks a little different, just went up by $100 for the individual. So instead of the deductible being $1,500, it's going to be $1,600 this year for an individual, $3,200 for a family on that option 1 Blue Choice Open Access HMO 8 plan. Still have the option 2 Blue Choice Advantage HSA number 5 plan and the option 3 Blue Choice Advantage 3-S plan. Those two have no changes. Some medical terminology you might want to familiarize yourself with. The copay, which is the flat dollar amount a member is responsible for at the time of service. The deductible, that's the amount you're responsible for before the plan starts to kick in and pay. Co-insurance is the percentage of payment that you'll be responsible for as the member. And then the out-of-pocket max, of course, would be the total payments, like including deductible, co-insurance, everything that you would have to pay out of pocket before the plan starts to pay your 100%. High deductible health plan is just a qualified health plan defined by the IRS. It's basically a no first dollar benefit. All services are subject to deductible before the plan will pay. So that's why you would kind of get the next line, which is a health savings account with that high deductible health plan to help you pay for some of those costs before the plan starts to pay 100%. And then a network provider is just a medical provider that has a contract with a particular carrier. And it just, this is Blue Cross Blue Shield is what you guys use, Care First. So preventive care. So some of the things that are considered preventive care services would be your routine physicals. And that's for anybody of the age of 18 or older. And then your pediatric exams for anybody that's from birth to age 17. There are certain or specific age and gender appropriate screenings, like for a female, it could be, a breast screening, or for a male, it could be prostate. It's just there's certain age or gender appropriate screenings for age, right, that you could also use as preventative services care. Immunizations for children and both adults, like we spoke about the flu shot. There's also, a coronavirus shot, a list of things that you can utilize there for the immunizations. And then blood pressure screenings for children and adults as well. Preventative care services are covered at no additional cost to you, so you would not be diving into your HSA account dollars to get these services performed. They are free and 100% covered by your insurance carrier. So just to kind of reflect on all of the benefits, again, nothing has changed except for on that option 1 plan, the deductibles have changed, but everything else, including the out-of-pocket max, has remained the same. And this is also in your benefit guide. that Nina will be distributing out to you. And then here are the plan highlights for the generic, preferred brand name, non-preferred brand name, and preferred specialty prescription for your current Care First plan. And again, none of this has changed. It is the same as last year. No minor or major changes there. And then just a quick flash of what your actual deductions would be per pay. And again, all of this will be inside of the benefit guide. I just wanted to kind of be able to show it to you as well on the slides. So start thinking about what plan you want to choose, right? Some of the things you want to do are review your prior year's medical expenses, like how much you spent out of pocket and what will it look like if you remain in the same plan, or maybe should you consider moving to another plan, right? Review your total claim costs. And then ask yourself, do you anticipate any major surgeries or anything that you think you might need to have done this year? Or do you prefer a higher deductible with a lower payroll deduction, right? Or are you prepared to pay the high deductible in the case of an unexpected medical event? So all of these are things that you kind of want to think about before you decide to choose one of the three plans. And again, there's no right or wrong answer. It just depends on which personalized best for you. How can you maximize your benefits? Make sure that you try to know the urgent care centers that are near your home. Again, it's always better to visit an urgent care center opposed to visiting an emergency room. It costs less. It's also less money out of pocket for you. And then also ask your pharmacist. Oops, I'm sorry. Ask your pharmacist or doctor for lower costs on prescription alternatives. I myself utilize this as I'm going to a pharmacy. I know for me, certain prescriptions that I have to get, they may be lower at a certain pharmacy opposed to another. I have Walgreens opposed to Rite Aid, and then vice versa for different prescriptions. So make sure that you ask the pharmacist sometimes for lower cost prescription alternatives, or your doctor. Also have your family and yourself get those annual preventive services performed. One of the other things that you might want to consider this year, I don't know if you've done it in the past, but check out your EOB, which is an explanation of benefits that you receive for all of your medical services. You also will receive them for dental as well. Because I know sometimes the charges that you get, you may not understand them, but we do have something called the BRC department. If you get those explanation of benefits and you are unaware of those charges, or just need someone to kind of explain it to you, they are able to help you in at least 5 days a week, yes, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to go over that, and they can kind of reach out to the carrier on behalf of yourself or your family member to get a better explanation if something doesn't make sense, because I know that a lot of the times we just think that what we get is, it's actually correct, and it may not be. So again, we do have a department that can help out with those type of issues or concerns if you do get an explanation of benefits and you're unaware of what those charges are. All right, so I am going to kick it off to Angela over at Voya.
Angela. Hello. Thank you. Thank you all for having me. My name is Angie Tavier. I'm here to present from Voya today some of these benefits that you may already be participating in and know about. I also participate in these myself, so not just as a vendor perspective, from a participant perspective. At the end, if you have questions, I'll be able to answer. Next slide, please. I want to kick off with talking about the health savings account, and there is a specific eligibility requirement. So you have certain ones certain plans you have to be enrolled in. This year's contribution limits have increased, so you can save as an individual up to $4,150 into your savings, or as a family up to $8,300. There is an available catch-up contribution annually I'm sorry, somebody muted me. If you're 55 or older, you would be able to do an additional. There is a tax advantage to this. It is different than the flexible spending account. I'll talk about that more once we get there. The HSA is a health savings account that is owned by the employee. Next slide, please. Just a few fun facts. It is owned by you, not your employer. So if you establish it and you move on, you will be able to either keep it as an individual account with Voya or move it to a new employer. You can change your contribution levels at different times in the year. So you might start out thinking you want to do this. However, you can make those kind of changes. You can reimburse qualified expenses with it. This is not a use it or lose it policy like a traditional FSA would be. So this is just funds that will roll over month to month and year to year, and something you can grow and take into retirement with you. So as Makisha was talking about using it for expenses, you might think, well, I don't have a lot of expenses this year. That's okay. You can take this into the future with you. Next slide, please. So some of the great tax advantages of this, obviously, there's no income tax on it. It's a pre-tax deduction. It grows tax-free and can be used for qualified medical expenses. We have an exhaustive list we have provided, and there's stuff on the website. Next slide, please. So who is eligible? Generally, an employee who is enrolled in a high deductible healthcare plan, not enrolled in Medicare, and not claimed as a dependent on anyone else's tax returns. These are federal guidelines. They are set annually with these minimum deductible amounts, maximum out of pocket. So if you have questions, you would want to speak to your HR when making decisions on those plans. Great thing when we get to it, if you have an HSA, you can actually enroll into a limited purpose FSA additionally. And I'll talk more about that later because that is something I'm enrolled in. Next slide, please. Great thing about a health savings account is there is an opportunity to make investments. You can open what is considered an investment account after it reaches a $1,000 threshold. These options are to add money into the investment account. Obviously, we can't give you advice on that. You would want to speak to a tax professional, but we do have literature online where you can transfer and make investments and see those grow in your consumer portal. Next slide, please. HSA is really great for right now in the present, but also for the future, for your retirement. You can contribute into your retirement plan and your HSA savings account and take it into retirement. Unlike traditional retirement plans, HSA are tax-free contributions and will continue that way. Again, age 55 and up, you can do an additional $1,000 to take into retirement with you. So those will qualify in the future for also expenses out of pocket that you can reimburse yourself. Next slide, please. Your balance transaction history we will have for you in your portal. I'll talk about the portal at the end. We do email, and in the portal have a monthly statement for you. If you do wish to have a paper statement, you do have to request it, and there is a $1.50 fee for that. Next slide, please. So that's all I have on HSA. If you have questions at the end, of course, I'll be happy, but I'm going to jump right into the FSA. Next slide, please. So the flexible spending account, so there are 3 different accounts that FYI offers. You have your traditional FSA. This may be something you would consider participating in if you don't have the health savings account. These are pre-tax dollars set aside to you, same as the limited purpose and the dependent care related expenses. And you're able to enroll in the dependent care even if you're in the HSA. So this is a completely separate thing used for other eligible dependent care expenses. Another great thing to note, you do not have to be covered under your employer's medical plan to participate in the FSA. So if you're thinking, well, I'm on my spouse's plan, I maybe can't do this, you absolutely actually can. So just something to think about. Next slide, please. So here's how an FSA works. You determine how much you spend annually in eligible healthcare expenses. Your contribution limit for your your FSA and your LPFSA is $1,000. Just to put it into a real life example for you, I know for a fact for me, I spend around about $300 to $400 out of pocket for my glasses each year. So I enroll into this so that I can use that to pay for what my insurance is not covering out of pocket expenses. And so this is very helpful. Next slide, please. Same thing with the limited purpose FSA, $1,000 limit. The only difference between the two and the reason why you can enroll into the LPFSA when you're in the HSA is the LPFSA is for vision and dental expenses qualified. And your elections in both are loaded on the first day of the plan year. So it will be paid back through payroll deductions, but it will be ready day one of the plan. Next slide, please. Dependent care is a little bit different. There is a $5,000 threshold per household or $2,500 per spouse if you both participate. You may like to determine annually how much you may need for dependent care expenses. Again, a list will be provided to you on what qualifies. And then the election is divided through the number of pay periods. And the amount will not become available.
Uh-oh, I think she might be muted again. I hear either. I think she might be muted. Angela, are you here?
See if I can find her. No, she's not muted.
Angela, we can't hear you.
Did she freeze?
She could have essentially froze. Well, I'll just take it until she's able to jump back on. So again, this year you're able to elect up to $5,000 per household for the dependent care FSA. If you and your spouse both have a dependent care FSA, it has to be $2,500 apiece. Yeah, not really sure. I did want to add that you have a runout period of 61 days after the plan year date shown, which is your plan year date begins on 4/1, so that's April 1st. So 61 days from that of next year, which would be in May, June. So June 2nd would be your runout day. And then and it says any remaining balance over $640 will roll over into the next plan year automatically for you if you have that. I really wanted her to did she leave? I think she left.
Yeah, I can talk about commuter benefits, Makisha.
Okay. Okay.
If you go to the next slide. So everyone, these are benefits that we, as you know, we already have in place. We're simply switching to Voya as our plan administrator, just making a move. So what will happen is your benefits with task will be active through March 31st. And then there's going to be a run out period of 60 days where you'll be able to submit receipts for reimbursements to task for services through March 31st. And then after 60 days, your remaining eligible balances will transfer over to Voya. So I will get some specific communication out to those of you that are currently participating. Voya will be effective April 1st. So effective April 1st, you'll have your benefits through Voya. You'll get a Voya debit card. Voya has a mobile app that you can use for these benefits as well. For parking and transit, again, you'll be able to elect to defer pre-tax dollars into a parking account or a transit account. And if you do elect in both, those are separate pools of funds. They cannot cross for any reason. So if you're enrolled in both and you use up all your transit dollars in one particular month, you can't use parking dollars for transit. So you can only use parking for parking expenses and transit for eligible work-related transit expenses. Can you go to the next slide? This year, the IRS has increased the contribution monthly limit to $315 per month pre-tax for transit, and separately up to $315 per month for parking. And these are not going to be front loaded. As you all are aware, these are going to be loaded each pay period with your pay contribution. One important thing that is going to be a little bit different for just the commuter benefits this year, we are on a 26 pay period year, so we're bi-weekly, but because these are monthly election amounts, it will be 24 deductions over the year. So it's going to be whatever your monthly election is, divided by 2 will be your per pay contribution. In the months that there are 3 pay periods, which for this coming plan year will be August and January. In the months where there are 3 pay periods, you will have your payroll contributions come out of the first 2 pay periods in that month, but not the third. You will receive the full employer contribution of $25 per pay period, inclusive of that third pay period in those 2 months. But you will only have your payroll deductions for the first 2 pay periods in those months that have 3 pay dates. And again, FYI will contribute $25 a pay period to your choice of transit, parking, or HSA as long as you're participating. And you do have flexibility to make changes to your commuter benefits on a month-to-month basis. Can you go to the next slide, Makisha? So again, you're going to receive a debit card that you can use to pay for qualified expenses. In addition, if you're at a location that doesn't accept the debit card for some reason, or if the card is not used, you can always submit claims for reimbursement using the online portal or the mobile app, and you will have to provide supporting documentation and your receipts for that. Next slide. Again, you're going to get a debit card in the mail for these to use for these benefits, and these would be for the HSA, the FSA, the commuter, and the parking. So if you enroll in all 4, you would have a single debit card to use for those eligible expenses. And again, just a reminder, Voya should have those out to you fairly quickly. We hope that you have them in hand by April 1st. But just keep an eye on the mail, as typically when these debit cards are mailed out, they are in very plain envelopes and can sometimes get confused for junk mail. Voya is going to have their online platform that you'll be able to use. You'll be able to access that to track your accounts and see your balances and submit claims. And again, they also have a mobile app, and there's brochures on each of these benefits that were uploaded to Bamboo HR for you to view as well.
All right, we're going to give it over to Lisa now. Lisa with Sun Life.
All right. My name is Lisa and I work for Sun Life, and I'm going to go over the enhancements that your employer is making to the dental and vision benefits that you have. So Sun Life will be the new carrier for your dental insurance, and VSP will be your new vision carrier. So high level, the enhancements that were made to the dental Your employer has added coverage for adult orthodontia. With your current Care First dental plan, children are eligible for orthodontia benefits up to age 19. So now the other enhancement, in addition to the adult ortho benefit, the ortho benefit for your children is up to age 26 versus your current plan is up to age 19. And the preventive rewards benefit, this is a benefit that it promotes preventive care. So all type 1 preventive services that you use in a given year, that amount is added to the member's maximum the following year. So your current dental plan has a $1,500 maximum benefit per member that's covered under the plan. So for example, in 2024, if you have $500 worth of preventive dental work done, your annual max in 2025 is now going to be $2,000. So the maximum preventive rewards bucket of money that can accumulate per person is $1,250. And then we added coverage for retreatment of root canals, and you'll also now have coverage for white fillings on back teeth on the dental plan. So the basic dental plan, on the next slide, it just tells you what's considered preventive, basic, and major. We can move to the next slide. Yep. So you still have the ability to visit any dentist that you want to go to for services. Sun Life is the second largest dental carrier in the country. I do have a slide that will walk you through how to locate participating dentists, but the basic co-insurance is the same. So all your preventive is at 100%, your basic services are at 80%, your major dental work and ortho is at 50%. And you have that $1,500 calendar year maximum benefit, the $1,500 ortho benefit, and then you have a deductible in and out of network, but that's waived for preventive services. Just keep in mind that if you visit a dentist that is not in the Sun Life Dental Network, just like your current dental plan, you're going to experience some balanced billing. So Sun Life has a very strong national network of dentists. In the Maryland area, our average discount, if you go to a participating Sun Life PPO dentist, is 41%. Right now, about 75% of our members in Maryland do visit a participating dentist. So if you're going for basic or major dental work and you have to pay 20 or 50% of the bill, you can save hundreds or even thousands of dollars if you remember to just make sure you're going to a participating Sun Life dentist. So to locate a participating Sun Life dentist, you can actually do this without being enrolled in the plan. You just go to sunlife.com /find a dentist, or there's a 1-800 number that you can call. Now, I recommend there's 3 different ways for you to search for a participating dentist. So if I was doing the search for you, I would search first by the first and last name of your dentist. And then if you don't find them in network, again, it's the Sun Life PPO Dental Network. It's a national network of dentists. The second way I would search would be by the name of the practice. And then if you still don't find them in network, I would type in the zip code for the dentist and search that way. The reason why I wouldn't search by zip code first is because you guys in the Maryland area, it's a major metropolitan area. You're going to find hundreds of thousands of dentists to go to. So always start by using the name of the provider. But the reason why I suggest you search it like multiple different ways if you don't find them in network is because sometimes it's the way that they're listed in network, or it's the way that you're doing the search. Not that you're doing anything wrong, but for example, let's say the name of your dentist you say is Jacqueline Smith. So you type in, or I'm sorry, let's say that you type in Jackie Smith and you can't find them online. That's because they're listed under Jacqueline Smith. So when in doubt, if you can't find your dentist in the network after you've searched, please send an email to the USI team, or you can send an email to Nina. They'll provide me with the information on the dentist, and we're happy to, double check to make sure they are in or out of network. And we're always trying to grow our dental network. Over the last 15 years, we average about 8% growth in our dental network. So we love working off referrals, and we're happy to try to solicit your dentist, and then we'll report back to Nina and let her know whether or not we've been able to add them to the dental network. Next slide. So this is a generic dental ID card. This is on your Ben admin system, along with a detailed summary of the dental and vision benefits. This is a generic dental ID card, and on this dental ID card at the top, it's going to give you instructions on how you can register and create an account if you want to customize a dental ID card. So if you do decide to, save off this generic dental ID card, you cannot register and create an account until on or after April 1st. So I just want to point that out. And on the back of the dental ID card, it's going to give you instructions on how you can submit a predetermination of benefits. A predetermination of benefits, it's recommended, but it's not required, that if your dental work is going to cost more than $500, ask your dentist to submit a predetermination of benefits. All dental carriers recommend that this is done. There's no penalty if you don't have it done, but it's really like getting a second opinion without, taking the time to go visit another dentist. The Sun Life dental consultants will review the x-rays and just check to make sure that there's enough decay to warrant the crown that you're having done. That's the most common predetermination of benefits that we receive. So again, it's recommended, but it's not required. And you'll get something in writing, an explanation of benefit that tells you what your dentist is charging and what your out-of-pocket will be before you have the dental work done. So, next slide. So now we'll move on to the vision benefits. So the vision benefits right now, you're with Superior. It's going to be moving to VSP. VSP has the largest national network of eye doctors. Most of the mom and pop chains are in the network, and you will see some of the major retail chains in the network. To locate participating dentists, you can go to VSP.com. So next slide. So the enhancements that your employer made to your vision plan this year is the frequency for eye exam lenses and frames is now going to be every 12 months. Versus with your current Superior vision plan, your frequency for frames, they were covered every 2 years. Now, the copay with Sun Life is going to be $10 for the exam and a $25 copayment for a complete set of glasses. So your current Superior plan had a $10 copayment for the exam, and it had a $10 copayment for a complete set of glasses. But if you read the fine print with your Superior vision plan, members are still going to pay less out of pocket with the VSP vision plan, because with your current Superior vision plan, they would charge you like a $15 copay if you got anti-scratch coating on your glasses, or they charge you like a $55 copayment for standard progressive lenses. And those are all things that are free and no additional charge with your new VSP vision plan. And also the frame allowance with VSP will be $150 versus with your current vision plan, it's $125. And then elective contact lenses with VSP will be $150. And then with your current plan, the allowance for contact lenses was $125. Now, for your contact lens fitting and evaluation with the VSP vision plan, you'll pay up to a $60 copayment if you visit a VSP provider. And with your current Superior vision plan, there wasn't a copay, but the contact lens fitting and evaluation, they would give a $30 allowance. So let's say the fitting and evaluation was $100, then you pay an extra $70. So on the next slide, we'll show you an example of how much, it just gives you an example of how much members will receive with the VSP vision plan versus Superior. So like it just gives you two different examples for a complete set of glasses. with the VSP plan, even with that material copay being up, like increased to $25 versus Superior's 10. You can see example number one, with the VSP plan, you'd pay $195 out of pocket versus with the Superior plan with discounts, $246. So major enhancements there. You also have the ability to go to iconic.com. If you want to purchase contact lenses or a complete set of glasses online, as long as you're visiting a VSPI doctor and you have an updated prescription, when you register at iconic.com, that prescription is going to be in there so you can order your materials online if you choose to do so. There's no ID card for the VSP vision insurance. This is a postcard that's going to be on the Kelly site. It's also on the Vision Commonly Asked Questions page. How do I use my vision plan? All you do is locate a VSPI doctor. When you make the appointment with the VSPI doctor, let them know that you have VSP insurance and they'll handle the rest. They'll know what your copayment is. So what I do is I shop for, the frames that I like, and then I know what my allowance is, and then I just ask the VSP provider, like, how much will a complete set of glasses cost if these are the frames that I get? And that's kind of how I decide what frames I'm going to get, is what my out of pocket will be. So any questions? Once you're enrolled, you can just call the toll-free number to VSP. And again, on or after April 1st, if you choose to register and create an account, you can, customize a dental ID card. You can view and print policy booklets. You can check the status and look at an explanation of benefit for your dental insurance. But just remember, those are mailed to your home address. About 70–80% of dental claims are submitted electronically. So the date the dentist submits them is the date that they're paid. It's all done electronically. So it won't be long for you to get the explanation of benefit in the mail, and then how much you need to pay the provider.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate that. We do see a few questions in the chat. I will try to zip through the remainder of this presentation so that we can get to your questions and get some answers for you. Just to cover really quickly the basic life in AD&D, FYI is pleased to provide this employer-paid benefit to you, again, at no cost to you. It's a benefit of $50,000 flat amount, and the guaranteed issue amount is, again, $50,000. Be sure to update your beneficiary as necessary. I can't tell you how many cases I've seen come across my desk where the beneficiary was not updated. So you can, and also just so you know, you do not have to change your beneficiary at this time. It's great to, but you are allowed to change your beneficiary as often as you need to throughout the year, okay? Because things change often. You do also have a voluntary short-term disability plan that you can elect this year. And again, just a brief summary of benefits here. Your benefits will begin on the 14th day for an accident or a sickness. And its benefit percentage is 60% with a weekly maximum of $2,500. Maximum benefit period will be 11 weeks. And then additional benefits offered to you through BHS in the Hartford will be funeral. Again, I'm not going to talk about all of the benefits here, but all of this is also in your benefit guide. But just wanted you to be able to see travel assistance, ID theft, ability assist counseling, accident insurance, also a voluntary benefit that FYI can offer you. Also critical illness. And these are great benefits that you may want to elect because you never know when you may have an accident, right, outside of work or inside of work. So again, just look into it. And if you have any questions, I am around today or whenever you may need me. You can send an email over to Nina, or you can email me directly and I can answer all your questions. You also are offered hospital indemnity. And then Kristen, if you are still online.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Kristen will talk about your pet benefits quickly. Sorry.
That's okay. Hi, everybody. My name's Kristen Jones, and I'm an account manager here at Pet Benefit Solutions. And I'm just going to go over the Pets Best Pet Health Insurance, Pet Assure Veterinary Discount Plan, and the Pet Plus Prescription Discount Plan with you today. So the Pets Best plan, which is our pet insurance, is an accident and illness plan with optional wellness riders that can cover, just general care, like such as teeth cleaning, spaying, neutering. It can be used at any veterinary facility, including specialty and emergency clinics. We have flexible reimbursement options with direct deposit by check, with direct deposit, check, or direct to vet payments. It has a very low deductible of $250 with a 90% coverage, which is your reimbursement. To submit a claim, you can do it by mail or with the Pets Best mobile app. And this includes our 24/7 pet telehealth. So this gives you access to chat with a US-based licensed veterinarian 24/7. They can provide support on your pet's health, wellness, behavior. They can't diagnose your pet, but at least they can give you peace of mind to let you know if it warrants like a vet visit in the morning. And with Pets Best, this covers accident, illnesses, cancer, hereditary conditions, emergency surgeries, prescriptions, exam fees, and more. But it doesn't exclude pre-existing conditions. Okay. So Pet Assure, which is the veterinary discount plan, you save an instant 25% off on all in-house medical services performed at a participating vet in your area. So you can choose the single pet plan or the unlimited plan. And the unlimited plan, there's no limit to how many pets you have in that plan. We have one member that has 18 cats and they're all covered. So
Jesus.
yeah. We have participating vets in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico, and all pets are eligible. So even if you have exotic pets, say you have birds, horses, llamas, or goats, as long as the participating vet you are visiting treats those pets, you will get that 25% discount. And to locate a participating vet in your area, simply visit www.petbenefits.com/search. And you simply enter your zip code, and this will bring up a list of all the participating vets in your area. And with this benefit, you get the Lost Pet Recovery Service. So this is a durable ID tag that has a QR code on the back. So if your pet goes missing and anyone finds your pet, they simply scan that QR code with their phone and it pulls up your contact information so they can get your pet back to you as soon as possible. And then the next one, which is our Pet Plus, which is our prescription discount plan. You'll receive member-only pricing up to 40% off on your pet's prescriptions, preventatives, food, toys, and treats. Shipping is always free, and all dogs and cats are eligible regardless of age, breed, or health. Most human-grade medications can be picked up at your local Caremark pharmacies such as CVS, Walmart, and Target. And this also includes the 24/7 pet telehealth as well. And I'll turn it back over.
Thank you so much, Kristen. I appreciate you
Thank
doing that
you.
quickly.
No
Um,
problem.
we also just wanted to have a brief slide on the BHS Employee Assistance Program that is also offered to you, where you can have a care coordinator help you with confidential access with problems. Again, this is in your benefit guide. Don't want to go into too much detail here, but just some of the things that they can help with are your relationships with your customers or friend or spouse, any transitions from birth to death, marriage or divorce, again, substance abuse as a risk. There's a list of common reasons to call. And then just quickly, if you make any changes, you will receive a medical FSA, HSA, transit parking. Those will be cards And in dental, I'm sorry. Actually, you won't receive a dental card, but I did remember Lisa said that you can get something offline, right, Lisa? And then the vision card, you won't get a card for vision, of course. And then, oh, if you do happen to have a mid-year plan change that you need to make, you can only make it again if you have a qualifying life event that I mentioned earlier in the slide. Documentation will be required. You must submit that over to Nina and Anya, and you have 30 days to make that within the qualifying event. Something I mentioned slightly earlier, the Benefit Resource Center here at USI they can help you with anything from claims assistance to any billing issues you may have. If you just need carrier information, or if you just want or have a benefit question overall, they can help you with that as well. And then lastly, this is just a list of contact information. And again, this will also be posted inside your benefit guide for this year. It has a phone number, email address, or website or web portal for you to reach any of the things mentioned in this presentation today. So now I know we have a few questions.
Yeah, thank you, Makisha. I do see a
Absolutely.
couple of questions. So Kristen, a couple of questions about the pet insurance were if neutering and microchipping is covered under any of the plans.
It's not covered under the Pets Best, but the neutering is included in the Pet Assure, which is the veterinary discount plan.
So we would be eligible for the 25% discount at participating veterinarians.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And the microchipping is not covered.
And Deanna, it was asking if parking and transit was discussed. Yes, it was discussed. Is there something specific that you wanted to ask Deanna?
And Deanna, there's no change to those benefits. There's just a change to the administrator of our plan. Effective April 1st, it will be Voya. So you will receive new cards if you enroll in the plan, and effective April 1st, you would use the Voya card. There will be a run out period from the previous provider where you'll have 60 days after March 31st to submit claims. And then after they complete the run out period, they'll notify us of balances, and we can those will get transferred over to Voya if you enroll into a Voya plan.
I think Carol was asking, what if your doctor is not in network? Were you referring to medical? I'm not sure what insurance she was referring to. When we go to the eye doctor, well, I think Lisa answered some of these.
Carol said yes. So she's referring to medical.
Okay. If you have an out-of-network provider, depending on which plan you elect, you have out-of-network benefits. So you just will be charged accordingly to whatever that benefit is that you're going for. So I'll just say a primary care visit, there's a certain amount that you pay in network and out of network. Let me see. I can answer you specifically depending on what the service is. But I'll just say that it's definitely depending on the service that you want performed. Like for instance, a chiropractor visit would be different than like a primary care visit. I'm trying to go back, but feel free to ask questions again if I'm scrolling back to see if there's something that wasn't answered.
Erica, the parking is pre-tax. It is set up as a pre-tax deduction. So all of the pre-tax deductions, which would include 401k contributions, medical and dental and vision premiums, and then contributions to HSA, FSA, parking and transit, those are all taken into account prior to your federal and state taxes being calculated.
Mm-hmm.
Asked a question about the FSA and the limited purpose FSA. Can she take both? I think the answer is no, Makisha. Angela's, I know, not on any longer, but is that Can they take both?
I'm sorry, I was looking for that question. She's asking, can she take the FSA and the HSA?
No, the FSA and the limited purpose FSA.
I think that she could take both. I'll confirm with that. I'll confirm.
Well, okay, so Lou, we'll get back to you. I see a question to go over the limited purpose FSA one more time. I will just in one moment. Deanna, there is no cash out option for commuter benefits. The IRS does not allow for you to get reimbursed unused funds. So the only way to get that money back is to spend it on eligible expenses. So if you have a large balance, then I would definitely hold on your participation, on your contributions until you're able to spend some of that money down. But there is no option to actually get unused funds returned to you. The IRS does not allow that. And Erica, I know you have a question. Let me just address the limited purpose FSA one more time. So basically, you're not allowed to, in very simple terms, if you are participating in an HSA, you can't do both a health savings account and the medical flexible spending at the same time. What a limited purpose FSA would do would be give you the option to participate in the health savings account, and then you could do the limited purpose FSA, and the limited purpose FSA would only be for eligible dental and vision expenses. You would not be able to use the limited purpose FSA for medical expenses. If you want an FSA to be used for medical expenses, you would take the healthcare FSA, but then by doing so, you would not be able to contribute funds into a health savings account at the same time. So the limited purpose FSA is going to function the same as a regular FSA, except that it's only going to cover dental and vision. It's not going to cover medical.
Right.
Did I answer your question, Tina?
She said yes.
Okay, great. Erica, yes, I did mention this earlier. Yes, FYI will contribute $25 a pay period to either parking, transit, or HSA as long as the employee is participating. And when you do your elections in Kelly, there is a little what they call a survey at the end, which is going to ask you which account you want that to go to. So for example, if you were participating in all three, you would have to let us know which one you want that contribution to go to, because it can only go to one account.
If you have additional questions that you can't get answered right this time, or you can't think of what exactly you want to ask, and you may have some questions later, do feel free to reach out to me or the BRC department. We can answer any questions you may have, especially if you have questions pertaining to which plans you want to elect, etc.
Carol asked about supplemental life insurance. So Carol, we don't have additional life insurance options at this time. Makisha, is our life insurance portable? The one that's through the Hartford?
I just pulled it up. I believe
Can't
so.
recall.
Yeah, I can't recall. I'll check on that.
We'll
just
check
had
and
it
get
up.
back to you on
Yeah.
that, Carol. Makisha, someone is asking where they can find your email. So
Oh, okay. I'll put it in the chat.
yeah. Okay. So Makisha's email is in the chat if you want to grab that, and I can share it as well. If you guys have any follow-up questions after this, please feel free to reach out to Anya or myself. If we don't know the answer, we'll be sure to get the answer for you. Thank you to Lisa and Kristen and Angela for joining us today. We're excited
Yeah, thank you.
to work with you. Makisha, thank you so much. And we will post the recording in my FYI as well. Open enrollment has opened in the Kelly portal. So you can go online starting today to make your elections for the new plan year, which will go into effect April 1st. So please make sure you complete that by March 8th, and Anya will be monitoring that and will be connecting with you as she is tracking who has completed that. So please be sure to complete it by March 8th. With that, we will let you go. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me.
Yes, I also wanted to mention really quickly the plan is portable.
The
for
life
person that
insurance
did
plan is
SF.
portable.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yep. Okay. Thanks
All
again,
right. Thank you,
everybody. Have a
everybody.
great
Thank
day.
you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.